Today on 10-Minute IT Jams, we have Jason VandeBoom, who is the founder and CEO of ActiveCampaign. So ActiveCampaign is a cloud software platform aimed at automating customer experience optimization throughout the entire customer lifecycle. So welcome to the Jam, Jason.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. So to start off, can you give me a brief overview of the company and what key products and offerings does ActiveCampaign provide?
Sure. ActiveCampaign was started a while back, and we really focused on like the customer experience, customer life cycle, from when someone first finds out about a brand all the way through the purchase. We spent like 10 years focused on trying to solve that with tools, and ultimately came to the realization that if we just centered around data and automation, that's how we can really provide the best value for growing businesses. And that's where we've been focused today. How can we help orchestrate a customer experience from start through advocacy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what specific sort of offering solutions do you guys provide?
Sure. Yeah. And so it's all centered around automation, but it's everything from like, how do you find customers, like lead gen, through like, how do you get that customer to actually make a purchase? So that could incorporate messaging, whether it be email, SMS, other channels. And then also then how do you take those relationships that you form, even if you have a lot of customers, how do you start to build upon those relationships and turn them into advocates? So we provide how do you bring all that data together? How do you automate? A lot of that functionality is built into the platform, but we also make it really easy to connect in all the other tools you have. So think of any business, they have customer data all over the place. We're bringing it all together, making it actionable, and actually giving people ideas on what they could do with it.
Mm-hmm. And customer experience automation is kind of at the center of your platform, your business.
Yeah.
So could you just give me a quick definition of what that means and what it means to your customers?
Sure. I think all too often people have thought about like sales and marketing automation. When I think of customer experience automation, it has to span the entire customer experience and do so in a way where it's really finding that blend of automation and human touch. So we oftentimes guide people to not over automate their customer experience. Instead, like how do we take some of those one-to-one interactions like a growing business usually has, make those a little bit more scalable and help save time on both sides.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what are your most recent improvements or innovations in your products?
Sure. We're really focused on being more of a partner to a business. Like I think if you just provide feature functionality, it doesn't do a lot of good because people don't end up actually implementing it. So we've been focused on building out more and more recipes. Think of it as just like business processes. Someone can start using ActiveCampaign. We have like 500 different ideas to get them started. And then we start to suggest more and more along the way. So think about it, a lot of our innovation is really giving them the guidance almost as if they had a consultant with them. But in the end, because they're able to create a customer experience, we're really tapping into the genius that they have within their knowledge of the business, market, and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm looking to the future a little bit. What kind of trends are you looking to kind of capitalize on next?
Yeah, I think it's really how do you bring more of that personality to a customer experience? I think the most successful small businesses we've seen that have been able to adapt and thrive despite all the challenges in the last year have really brought that personality, that uniqueness into their customer experience. So whether that's like we have a customer that like includes handwritten notes with all the orders, which isn't like all that uncommon, but then also provides a way of being able to reach out to them. How do we help automate the initial sort of reach out and response to a degree, but ensure that a human's in at the right time? And I think it's really about like, how do we get more and more out of that business and guide them into building out a more complete customer experience over time? I think that idea of that personal sort of experience that people get used to in like a small business in person is rapidly going into more of a digital form. And the reason why we see a lot of people buying more direct to small and growing businesses versus some of the larger big box or whatnot type retailers out there, which is pretty exciting overall.
Yeah. And so you're based in Chicago, but could you tell me what presence you have in the APAC market and also specifically within the Australia and New Zealand market?
Sure. Yeah. It's one of our large growing markets. It's the first area we've really kind of built out with a dedicated hub. So we opened our Sydney office in 2018. We're over 60 people there across like sales, support, marketing, continuing to build that out over time as well.
Cool. And finally for you, Jason, what if a potential customer wants to engage with ActiveCampaign? What's the best way to do so?
Sure, they can just go to activecampaign.com. We have a free trial where people can get started. They can kind of tap into those like 500 plus business process ideas, and that'll start to suggest things over time. We also do a lot of free strategy and marketing workshops. So we have both study halls, and we have an event coming up in April called This Just Works as well. And they're really designed to not sell ActiveCampaign. They're designed to actually help dig into marketing and whatnot. So something I'd definitely suggest.
Okay, cool. Well, that brings us to an end of this IT Jam with Jason VandeBoom, who is the founder and CEO of ActiveCampaign. Thanks for coming on today, Jason.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.